During Ramadan of 2026, thousands of Americans walked into mosques from New York to Los Angeles to declare their Shahada. They stood in these prayer halls to recite the testimony of faith, moving from the role of the observer to the life of a believer. Major news cycles largely bypassed this shift. CNN skipped the story, and Fox News left the growing numbers unaddressed. This map tracks the geography of the movement. Research confirms a steady baseline of 20,000 annual conversions across the United States. In specific hubs like Houston, individual Islamic centers reported over 200 new Muslims in a single month during this period. The data profiles a specific type of convert, college-educated professionals between 25 and 40, established in their careers. They spend an average of 2 years researching Islamic theology before committing, a timeline defined by deliberate reading and study. These conversions represent a self-directed intellectual journey. An educated segment of the population is dedicating years to spiritual inquiry, reaching their conclusions through rigorous investigation rather than impulse. Sobering. This trend is accelerating alongside a decline in American social stability. Depression rates are at an all-time high, and the U.S. Surgeon General has formally classified loneliness as a public health epidemic. Traditional community anchors are fading. Over the last 2 decades, attendance at Western churches dropped by 40%, leaving a void where social and spiritual belonging once existed. Islam provides a specific structural response. It functions on 5 load-bearing pillars, offering a clear ethical framework and daily disciplines. The pillar of community integrates the individual into a global family of 1.8 billion believers, offering a predefined sense of belonging that modern secularism lacks. Earnest. For a demographic navigating a fragmented society, this system offers a cohesive way to live. It replaces isolation with a global brotherhood and provides a deeply structured daily life. These screens illustrate how this information reaches a new audience. Algorithms are delivering Islamic content to millions of non-Muslims on platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Geopolitical shifts also play a role. As young Americans watch global conflicts and human rights struggles unfold, many begin looking for a faith that consistently champions the values of universal justice and equality. Curiosity often leads these researchers from social media clips to the primary source text, the Quran. This slide compares common preconceptions with the actual reading experience. While many expect to find the anger often portrayed in media, they report discovering a text centered on logic, poetry, and a personal dialogue with the creator. The intersection of digital accessibility and a search for moral clarity makes the discovery of Islam a common outcome for the current generation. The economic data reflects the community's expanding scale. The global halal market has surpassed $3 trillion, and US-based halal revenue is growing at 15% annually, drawing significant attention from Wall Street analysts. This growth occurs despite significant personal hurdles. Converts navigate complex changes in family dynamics and work to establish space for daily prayers within standard American office cultures. These new Muslims are deeply integrated into civic life. They are taxpayers, neighbors, and active voters, seeing faith and citizenship as complementary forces. Islam is maturing into an indigenous American religion. It is represented by domestic faces and voices who view their spiritual values as the core of their contribution to the country. Fitra is the natural state, the belief that every human is born with an innate recognition of the Creator. Converts describe their Shahada as the recovery of an original identity, a homecoming to a spiritual state already present within them. A new generation is harmonizing their American identity with their religious conviction. They pray, they participate in the democratic process, and they see their submission to God as a path to personal and national peace. This movement is a product of individual conviction and a search for truth. If this breakdown provided new insight, share it with one person. Subscribe to The Informed Muslim for weekly content on faith and world affairs, and tell us in the comments, what specific idea first made you curious about Islam? Assalamu alaikum and welcome home.